Hey, just as a warning, this video is really annoying. First of all, there is something on like my double chin. It's like a little fuzzy from either the sweater that I was wearing that day or I don't know. Second of all, when I applied the what is it called, the bio brightener from Well People, I didn't even blend it out that well. So up here on my upper lip it looks like it's pilling, and it's not pilling, I swear. It's basically just not blended in to my skin correctly. But I hope you don't mind. I hope you can see past the flaws. Sorry. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Mayra Alejandra. Friends, today I want to scratch the Glossier itch, so to speak. Yesterday, I found myself thinking about Glossier, longing for those products that I used in the past and loved. I kept thinking, how many Glossier products, those of which I'm interested in purchasing or repurchasing, how many of those products can I dupe the vibes of? So ideally, I won't need to buy any new products, but if I do, if I'm not able to dupe the vibes of a certain product, then I can make a more informed decision about my purchase. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to see which products I use to dupe the vibes of Glossier, then I invite you to keep on watching. And if you happen to enjoy our time together, I also invite you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. But yeah, let's get into duping the vibes. Okie dokie. Do you guys like the new intro to the videos? There's also a new outro, but yeah, I was working on it this week. I wanted to do something that was a little bit more creative. I enjoy doing that. Keeps my mind busy, you know? Okay, so one product from Glossier that I've unfortunately have not had the chance to try out is actually the Glossier Future Dupe. Let me pull it up. Back in, what was it, 2019, when I first started to really get into makeup. Whoa, my contact lens just moved. 2019, when I first started to really get into makeup, Glossier was one of the first brands that I began my journey with. One of the things that I've always loved is the no makeup look. And of course, I love to play with color, I love to play with different textures and formulas. However, sometimes you really just need something reliable that you know is gonna look good, won't take too much time, and that is gonna make you feel confident. So since the time that I tried Glossier, I've kind of expanded my horizons, right? And have found new formulas that are either better or just more affordable, because although Glossier isn't luxury beauty, it can get a little expensive because of the because of the size of some of the products, right? So one example is the Boy Brow. That's like a super tiny tube of gel, and like you use it up so quickly. But anyway, long story short, the one thing in my collection that I imagine the future dupe to be like is the Well People Bio Brightener Priming Serum. On the Glossier website, I'm gonna read from it. It says what it is: a shortcut to the way your skin looks after a full skincare routine. So like a dewy, glowy kind of look to the skin. That's why it's special. It's nourishing oils that don't feel greasy, immediately give you a gleamy, well moisturized look that lasts up to 12 hours. Okay. Powerful plant-based extracts work to make your skin look brighter instantly and over time. Reviews that I've seen about the Future Dupe have mentioned the nourishing qualities. So with the Bio Brightener, I've showed the consistency before. And I need to pin my bangs back. Oh, so attractive. Let me pull you in because I'm a little far. So this is what it looks like. I know I have to like improve my lighting situation here. I think you can really see how moisturized my face looks. The thing about the Bio Brightener is that it has a little bit of iridescence. Kind of feel like this is pretty close to what I've seen the Future do. Okay, so the next product that I'm going to try to dupe the vibes of is the skin tint. So let me pull it up so I can tell you a little bit about it, and I'll also tell you why I happen to like it. So one of the reasons why I miss the skin tint is of its blurring qualities. Now, I do remember loving how it looked on my skin because it never got oily. It would never cling to dry patches. On their website, they say, so why it's special, it says it's a breathable, ultra thin formula that evens out skin's appearance for a smooth, dewy finish. Diamond powder gives a brightening, soft focus effect and minimizes the appearance of pores, while glycerin moisturizes the skin. I stand by it that there's like a sheer wash of color, super thin coverage, really pretty on the skin. So the closest thing in my collection that I feel would be somewhat similar to the Perfecting Skin Tint is the Rose Inc Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. And this is because of that sheer coverage. So one of the other things that I liked about it was that it was really, really lightweight. It hardly ever felt like I was wearing any makeup, and it hardly looked like I was wearing any makeup. This is spot on for the Glossier skin tint. If anything, it's better. One of the things that I love about my Rose Inc skin tint is that not only is there sheer coverage, very light, it wears beautifully throughout the day, but it also gives a little bit of that blurring action that I miss from the Glossier skin tint. There's also skincare benefits to wearing the Rose Inc one. So if I were to place a Glossier order, I would definitely skip out on the skin tint. I already have something that definitely works. All right, so this is what it looks like. It's a really pretty base. All right, so next product on my list, the Stretch Concealer. So the Stretch Concealer I have tried, man, I would personally say is one of Glossier's best products. So one of the things that I really liked was how emollient and also lightweight it felt while still giving you a pretty decent amount of coverage. Whatever coverage was lacking within the skin tint was made up by the Stretch Concealer. So what I feel that comes close to the Stretch Concealer, not so much in formulation, but just in the feel, you know, in the vibe, in the feels of it, would have to be the Salt New York Sneaky Balms. Sneaky Balm. I know. It's like this is sold as more of a skin tint, like a balm skin tint, than a concealer, but I mean, it's basically the same thing, you know? It conceals. So what Glossier says about the Stretch Concealer, adaptable mineral pigments give a brightening effect and blend seamlessly into the skin for natural looking coverage. Elastic micro waxes move with your skin instead of caking on top of it. Literally, it's like they're describing the Sneaky Balm. This is one of the reasons why it's really helpful to look at your collection and make sure that you don't already own things that are giving you the same service, for lack of a better term, as those that you're trying to purchase or those that are interesting because they're shiny and new. So as you can see, the Sneaky Balm does an excellent job concealing and making up for any coverage from the Luminous skin tint from Rose Inc. This video idea is sort of piggybacking off of Hannah Louise Poston's Duping the Vibes. I'm pretty sure she was the one to coin the phrase. I remember her saying in one of her Duping the Vibes videos, she said it in a more eloquent way, that we basically have a type when it comes to products, and we are interested in certain products because we already know that looks good on us. It's also likely that you already have a concealer that does just as good of a job as whatever it is that you're looking at, you know? For the most part, yes, I love the stretch concealer, love how flexible it is on the skin, but this does the very same thing. So if I'm placing an order, I can skip out on the stretch concealer because although I've hit pan on both of these shades, there's still plenty of it, and a little goes a long way, which was another reason that I liked the stretch concealer too. Samesies. So I can scratch that off my list. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. The next product that I would like to dupe the vibes of, well, products, are the Boy Brow and the Brow Flick. The Boy Brow, I feel like, is a hero product within the Glossier line. It made my eyebrows look naturally fluffy. I believe I ordered the Boy Brow twice. It was kind of ridiculous, you know, 17 bucks for a super tiny tube of pomade, brow pomade, that while it was great, I just couldn't justify spending that much that often. So what I liked about the Boy Brow was because it has these fibers within the formula, it helps thicken your eyebrows. And luckily for me, I found something very comparable, which is Flawlush from Undone. And it's taken a while for me to really nail the brow situation, you know, because of how little brows I have to begin with. I've said it once and I'll say it again. This is super easy to use. So here is what it looks like. But anywhoosies, this is such a great little brow tint. Not only does it have the gel, it has the pen. And this is something that I actually like more than the Brow Flick. What I remember about the Brow Flick was that it was a little difficult to gauge how much pigment it was going to deposit. It used to be so hard to not have like super dark, almost blockish eyebrows when using the Brow Flick. Luckily for me, with the pen from Undone Beauty, it's a little bit easier. So what Glossier says about their Brow Flick is a brush tip detailing pen that fills and defines brows. Why it's special: fills and defines the brow arch, extends the tail, and adds depth to sparse areas. The pen's brush tip creates feather-like strokes that actually look real. I would definitely compare the Flawlush to the Brow Flick. Okay, so it seems like I may still be suffering from the block eyebrow situation, but I would still stand by my statement that it's great. The formulation, the actual product itself, like how it's packaged, and it's really simple. It's just, again, like figuring out that sweet spot, the shape that's gonna look best on you. So next on the list, the Lit Star, and in particular the shade Lily. I'm sort of gonna wing this one because I don't have any liquid eyeshadows, so I want to see what they describe it as so that I can more or less try to dupe it. So what it is: a soft glistening eye color that lasts all day. Really? All day? Because I've actually heard that they're not that pigmented, so don't take my word for it. I've never tried it. So why it's special: creates a sheer veil of color that locks onto lids without creasing, so no need for primer. Buttery base for a silky blendable formula that wipes on easily. Okay, because I know my skin type and because I know how my face works, I am actually going to put on primer because I got oily lids, sis. So we're going to experiment a little bit, okay? Stay with me here. I don't know if we're gonna achieve the lid star vibe, but here's what I pulled: the blue and pink shades from About Face, and the pink shade is called On Point, the blue shade is called Blue Monday. I'm going to try to achieve like a lilac-y kind of, maybe even periwinkle-ish shade, and then I'm going to incorporate a little bit of the highlight also from About Face and see if I can add that shine into the concoction. So I'm using a very dirty acrylic palette, but I'm gonna use a spot that isn't dirty. Don't judge me. Okay, so now this is how much I used, and I'm going to use a little spatula here to mix the color. Okay, and so far I feel like I definitely need a lot more pink. I do have the fluid eye paint in the shade Scream of Consciousness, but the reason why I didn't mix this one with the blue is because this is actually not a true red. It's a lot more orangey. So anytime that I've tried to come up with a purple color by mixing blue and red, I end up with something really mucky and not purple at all. I think I got like a pretty decent periwinkle shade. I'm gonna see what that looks like. I mean, I know it's not exactly the shade that I'm trying to dupe, right? But because Lily, it says, is a sheer lilac base with blue and violet pearls. Yeah, and this one is definitely a lot more blue than it is lilac or violet, but we're gonna go with it. You know what this is actually looking like instead? It's looking like they're Skywash shades that kind of looks like this, right? On camera, it looks a lot more blue. I can't really dupe the vibes of the lid star. I'm going to clean off my brush, and I'm going to add a little bit of that highlight for that shimmery effect. Oh man, one thing I didn't take into consideration is that the highlight might break up the fluid eye paint. Whoopsies. This is what I'm gonna do to fix it, okay? I think I do have a purple leaning shade. I'm gonna add this shade right here from the Celestial Odyssey palette. Just pat it down on the lid. What do we think? I mean, it's not great, but it's not the worst either. I do have to clean it up though. So here's what I got so far. So I'm gonna clean up the edges with a little bit of my micellar water and my towel here, and just gently blend this guy. Now I'm just gonna go back into the Sneaky Balm and tappity tap. Okay, I don't think that this was a successful vibe dupe. I mean, I feel like I got as close as I could. It does kind of dupe the vibe a little bit, or is that just me trying to not be so hard on myself? Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, up next is the cloud paint. So I actually still have my cloud paint from years and years ago, so I'm just gonna use that. I wouldn't necessarily purchase a new cloud paint because I haven't finished this one or these two. On the website, they say that the cloud paint is a seamless, buildable gel cream blush that's enjoyable to apply and easy to wear. Just sheer enough upon initial application to make it easy to work with and layer without going overboard. Simply dab it on the cheeks and tap into the skin for a natural flush from within glow. Special blurring pigments give a soft focus effect that doesn't accentuate texture or pores, as if you just happen to be in golden hour lighting all the time. For sure, one of the things that I've always enjoyed about the cloud paint is how blurring it is. And I've actually used it on my bare skin and it just brings my face kind of back to life. So I'm glad that I still have my cloud paint. And as you can tell, I mean, I've been using it quite a bit, but a little bit goes a long way. It'll definitely give you that flushed look. So we're almost there. Regarding lip shades, I was perusing the website and the new shade called Punch, it's in the Generation G, is a bright rosy red. Goodness gracious. Oh, I almost placed an order right then and there. It is such a pretty shade. I really like it. To pull off the vibe, I'm going to use my MAC lipstick, which is in the color Ruby Woo. It says it's just blotted lipstick without the blot. It's a buildable lipstick inspired by the makeup artist's trick of blotting lipstick on models for the perfect everyday flush of color. Why it's special, we love the casual, already worn in finish. It's matte and diffused with soft edges like you've just been kissed. The buildable formula glides on easily and evenly, no mirror needed, has just the right amount of pigment that looks different on everyone since your natural lip color shows through. I'm going to dab this guy on. Does this not look like Punch? Maybe not with this like makeup look, but I feel like it's pretty spot on in terms of the shade. I would love it if it was just a little bit more hydrating, and it could be because the MAC lipsticks are pretty matte. They do end up kind of drying and clinging onto your dry spots, but I'm not mad at this lip color. The other lip product that I've been super curious about is the lip gloss. I mean, I'm obsessed with that red shade. Like, it reminds me of something that I had as a kid. But for the wettest, juiciest, lip glossy kind of lip look, I think I'm just gonna use my Fenty lip oil. And with the Ruby Woo still lingering on my lips, pulls off that red lip gloss shade. The swatches or the pictures of the models, oh my goodness, their lips look dripping wet. I still want that lip gloss. Either way, this is kind of what I'm working with in terms of the vibe dupe. And finally, the other lip product I'd love to try out is the Generation G lipstick in the shade Fuzz. It appears to be a new shade. It is described as a soft rosy taupe. Don't know if this is actually gonna work out. So to achieve this shade, I'm going to put a little bit of Clinique's Black Honey, and over top, oh wait, I think I might have put a little too much. Over top, I'm gonna use Fringe from Kosas. The picture of the lips look a little less intense. Oh man. I don't think it worked. Also, does it look like I'm wearing a mustache? Like my mustache is making an appearance? I don't think I can dupe the shade. Wait a minute. I'm not giving up. What if I apply Black Honey, just dab it on, and then use the Sephora collection lipstick and Be Proud? Did I do it? This kind of looks a little more like it. Ooh. The Generation G is a little less pigmented, but I don't think I'm off in terms of the shade itself. And I even like it with this eye look, so yeah. yeah, I don't think I have to try fuzz anymore. Alrighty, so let me gather my thoughts here. Did I dupe the vibes of the Future Dew? I want to say yes, because I do feel like the Well People Bio Brightener does a decent job at prepping the skin. So far, I do like that my skin looks dewy, looks juicy. It seems as though the Future Dew is a lot more moisturizing. Perhaps the Future Dew isn't even a product that would work for me. I have pretty oily-ish skin. Whenever I do over apply skin prep products, I do end up getting a lot more oily, and unfortunately that'll cause my makeup products to break up a little bit throughout the day. I do feel like I did dupe the vibe of it. You know, it's not as moisturizing, it seems, but it's enough to help me prep the skin and make me look as though I spent a little longer on my skincare routine. So I would still insist that I don't need to purchase the Future Dew. The Perfecting Skin Tint, I would say I'm much more in love with my Luminous Skin Tint from Rose Inc. I feel like there's no point in ordering the Perfecting Skin Tint when this one works so well and better than the Glossier one. Maybe once I finish the Rose Inc one, I may go ahead and pull the trigger on this Glossier skin tint, but right now I have the product that can help me pull off that look. The stretch concealer, although I 1000% would recommend the stretch concealer, I kind of feel like I would rather repurchase the Sneaky Balm as opposed to the stretch concealer. Well, mainly because of the price, but it also offers a little more coverage. Yeah, as far as what it looks like on my skin, it moves with my skin. All the things that I've loved about the stretch concealer, I have here. While I would recommend the stretch concealer if you've never tried it and are curious, I don't think you'll be disappointed. But if you want something with a little more coverage and all of the qualities of the stretch concealer at a lower price, I would much rather recommend the Sneaky Balm. The Brow Flick and Brow Tint. So I would still recommend the Flawlush from Undone, mainly because of the fact that it is a 2-in-1 product and it is cheaper than purchasing a brow flick and boy brow. Same with the concealer. If you were to purchase the boy brow, I don't feel like you'll be disappointed. If you want to save a little more money, which I personally do, I would go for this one. So that's also something for myself. I don't need to repurchase the boy brow or the brow flick because I have something that works just as well. The Cloud Paint, luckily for me, as I said, I still have the 2 Cloud Paints in my collection. I'm very happy with the shade Haze. If anything, I would maybe repurchase Haze and try a new color. And the only reason why I would insist on the Cloud Paint would be because it is so blurring. So that's like the first product so far that I would go ahead and order. The Generation G lip, I did long for a little moisture, so perhaps I would consider the Generation G lipstick. So far it is the Cloud Paint and the Generation G lipstick in Punch that I would order. So the Lit Star in the shade Lily, unless I'm intentionally looking for something like that, I probably won't be ordering it. I might just be okay with the Generation G lipsticks and a Cloud Paint. Hey there. So as I'm editing, I find out that Glossier is going to be working with Olivia Rodrigo on putting a collection together. And it's so cute. So far, I've seen an eyeshadow trio that is kind of like in a purplish tone, and an ultra lip called Pisces. Sign me up. Olivia Rodrigo is so adorable, and all of the packaging is going to be in this really pretty kind of lavender shade, which she says that it's her signature shade. That's so cute. I probably will hold off on placing an order just so that I can see what the word is on the eyeshadows and the ultra lip. But yeah, there's also a mist, which I'm not really sure what it's about, but we'll see. Anyways, I'm excited. Good for Glossier for working with someone who appeals to a younger crowd. I feel ancient. But yeah, I'm excited for the collection. I think Olivia Rodrigo is, again, she's so adorable, super talented. I'm patiently waiting for the collection launch. That is it. I hope I did a decent enough job at explaining the purpose of this video, which again, it is to help me make a more informed decision about the products that I bring into my stash. This is a way that I can scratch the itch. As I said, that is it, my friends. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. So I'm actually thinking of doing a Halloween look. So hopefully you'll come back and hang out with me for that as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to subscribe. And yeah, I will see you next time. Love you.